The war came, and we went through. I went through the invasion. I went to the invasion of Africa, and then I went to the invasion of Sicily, and then from Sicily we went to Italy, and I went through the invasion of Italy, and we went up the Italian peninsula, and we ended up in Naples, and we were bogged. The Fifth Army was bogged down in Naples because of a place called Casino. The worst medal you can get is a Purple Heart. Yeah, that means that you f***ed up and you get yourself shot. So, you don't feel like much of a hero laying in a hospital bed with half your head blown off and felt like you did a good job on anything. So, the guys everybody always, they said, I can remember one time I was at a training place someplace, and some guy said to me, "We brought a guy who got a Purple Heart, and he's going to talk to you." And I said to them very honestly, I don't want to talk to a guy that got a Purple Heart. I want to talk to a guy that didn't get a Purple Heart. But I got wounded. Well, I got a bayonet in my back in Libya, and I got my whole face was shot off in Anzio there, and I have shrapnel. All those scars are from shrapnel there, from hand grenades and blowing off. But every time they got winded, you made a mistake. You understand? You see, the worst mistake I made was actually on Anzio. I was way back to the enemy lines, and I coming back to my own lines, and I didn't check ahead of me correctly. Okay? So there was a machine gun nest between from where I was, between myself and the American lines, and I didn't. It was what they call breakthrough guns. Tell you what a breakthrough gun is. The enemy takes behind the main line of resistance there, they put machine guns back there. So when the main line of resistance gives away, the machine gun nest hold the aggressing forces until you can regroup. This was a breakthrough gun back there, and I didn't check it, so I didn't think it was being manned, and I went right up. I had 40 guys, and I went right up to the gun. They let me, but I had 20 prisoners with me, 20 German prisoners. They let the German prisoners and most of my men go ahead, but I was in the very rear, and I was last, and with my sergeant, and they opened up right about as far away from here over there, right on my face. There, and they shot my face off from here all the way back here. This is all rebuilt. The tongue is rebuilt. The teeth are all. You can take it home, and it was all shot out. And I was still 3 miles from the American lines, and I had to walk back there, and we took emergency packs and stuffed them up in my face, and they took a suture and put it through my tongue, and as a long thread, and they tied it onto on my chest here, and so I wouldn't swallow my tongue and choke to death. So I wasn't doing much talking then. So I got back there, and fortunately when I got back there, there was a plastic surgeon who was there observing it there, and he took me in hand right away and rolled up a lot of the tissue and saved me about another year in the hospital there. Everybody was engaged in World War II. There were no dissensions like in the Korean War, and no dissensions like in the Vietnam War. Everybody was for the war. Because Hitler had all these concentration camps, he was killing all the people, and Hitler was raiding right through Europe. You know, this was no little 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 action between, you know, two little countries or anything. This was an honest to God world war, you know, and so everybody was involved. You know, if you had been living in the States at that time, you'd be doing something for the war effort. You know, so there was no animosity about it. Everybody, and Hitler was not making himself very popular, and he was killing off all kinds of people, and killing off the Jews, and killing off everybody. You know, and they had concentration camps spread out all over Europe. And at the later part of the war, when the war was about to end, I commanded the 506, and we liberated a concentration camp called Dachau, which was just outside of Munich, Germany. And it was a little bit different kind of a concentration camp from the others, because most of them were centered on Jews. This was centered on Jews and homosexuals or all kinds of deviants of that kind. Because he didn't like those any better than he did those people when he did the Jews. Yeah. The worst part of that whole part of the war for me, on that part of it, was when you liberated it, there were 25,000 people there.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. And you don't know what to do with. There's no way you have anything to do with 25,000 people. You make them free, but they're not any more free than they were before, except nobody was killing anybody. And, you know, you liberated them, but then you had to take care of it. You ever try to take care of 25,000 people? And I had about 180 men, is all. And I was waiting for a British hospital division to come up and take care of it, which they were 2 weeks late. So I had 2 weeks to try to take care of 25 people. But you don't liberate anybody. All you do is keep them contained till somebody comes along and has to place 25,000 people, who most of them have no homes. They can't even remember, a lot of them can't even remember where they came from. And everything else. That was the worst part of the war. Mussolini Canal was a big canal. It had two big banks, and we were on one side. And on Sundays, when there wasn't much to do, the Germans would put a bicycle at one end of the bank on their side, and we'd put a bicycle on this side, and the guys would ride and shoot each other, like in the Old West there. Nobody ever hit anybody, but we had lots and lots of fun. This is what our recreation was on Sunday. And we used to trade. This is war now, you know, vicious war that's killing everybody. We used to trade food, because the Germans had one kind of food that we liked, and we had food that they liked. So we had a trading post. And the Germans had all the wine, because they had the vineyard side of the canal, and we had nothing. We had the ocean, and so we used to have what we call wine raiding groups. Killing 10 Germans over there doesn't really accomplish anything, so rather than killing them, I got to deal with them. And once every couple of weeks, the Germans would let us raid over there, and we'd raid the farm areas there and take the wine. A very nice relationship, you see. Expendable people, and that's literally what we were here. Today, people are not expendable, you know, because it takes so much to train them and so much to develop them, you see, that you use them now, you use their heads more than you use their bodies. That's what war is all about today. If you're ever thinking about going into the service, the thing you should study today is mathematics and physics. Yeah, that gets to your head. Yeah.